Hey everyone, and welcome to our second DePaul Esports EDU interview, powered by HyperX. For those who don't know, Esports EDU is a 8-week streaming series where we get to know different teams, different communities, and different organizations throughout campus and those who are involved in DePaul Esports. Today I'm joined with John, the student leader for the popular VR rhythm game Beat Saber. John, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. And for anyone watching, if you guys have any questions for me or John, feel free to leave it in a chat, be it on Twitch, be it on YouTube or Facebook. Anything is fine, and we will try to address those. Cool. So yeah, we can just get right into it. So John, I was just wondering a little bit about how you got involved with Beat Saber and began playing the game at like a competitive level.
Okay, so I had not played Beat Saber before. I think it was summer 2019. I had just graduated from high school. One of my friends had a HTC Vive for about 3 years before that. Brought me over to his house, said, "Do you want to play this?" I'm like, "Absolutely. I've seen this game. I know that it's going to be fun. I just don't have the equipment to play it." And then when I graduated from high school, my parents said, "Well, do you want a graduation gift?" And because I had just started playing VR and the Oculus Quest just came out, I said, "Can I have this?" And they were a little hesitant because of how much it was, but in the end, they got it for me. And the first game that I got on my Quest was Beat Saber, and I played it almost nonstop for a month and a half. Um, it was a lot.
That's the way to go.
It was a lot of I would try to do it and then I'd get tired and then I'd be like, no, I can beat that one song, and I'd go back to it. I'd get tired and it would just be a same process. So in that month, I was playing like the normal level songs to like the highest level expert plus, and I was like picking up fast. And then when I got into college, that same friend who got me into VR said that he was scouted for the VR team at his school, UIUC. And I was like, "There's VR esports. Tell me about this now." And then in the time between, I think that was in like late September. It was like right after school started. Late September to January, I spent all that time getting a team set up. And then we finally got it set up about 4 days before the registration form was due for the season in January. So it was like right down to the wire, but we got our team together, we got enough people to play, and I mean, I've loved it ever since.
Awesome. That's super exciting. So out of curiosity, I know you said you like had played Beat Saber at your friend's house. Did you have like experience with other rhythm games prior, or was that kind of your introduction to that?
Not really. I think the most of a rhythm game I would play was like Guitar Hero when I was like 8 years old on the Wii.
Right.
And then like going to like arcade places like Dave and Buster's and stuff like that would have like the arcade machine of Guitar Hero. That was it. I liked the idea of being in VR, and I wanted a game that like it wasn't just an adventure game, then it was over. It would be a game that was expanding all the time, that people were adding custom songs, and I found that game, and it was just kind of like it's taken off of how much I've gotten better at it and how much I still want to go back and play it. I haven't gotten sick of it yet, and that's a key thing for me.
I think that's something big that you bring up. I've noticed with my experience with VR, a lot of the games, they're good, but there are a lot of story-based games that are kind of A to B. You get to B, and you kind of drop the game. And Beat Saber is one of the only games that you can keep getting skill, keep competing, and building up with it, which is really cool. So could you tell us a little bit about? I know you talked about how you built up a team at DePaul, and you were able to just make that quota. Could you tell us a little bit more about Beat Saber at DePaul and kind of how the organization came to be?
Yeah, sure. So the big thing for me when I started making the club was that I knew that we had a VR AR lab at DePaul. So I wanted to see if we could practice in there, but I never got a hold of the man who ran the VR AR lab. But because I had been going into the Esports Gaming Center, I talked to the head of the gaming center, and he's like, "Oh, I'll give you the Courtney." And Courtney was all for the idea. Like, she was on board almost after my first email.
Right.
And she was like nonstop checking in, like seeing how things were going, seeing where I was getting with all these things. And then all of a sudden, I find out that in October we had a Beat Saber tournament where they had 4 PlayStation VR set up, and it was just you come, you play a game, and then at the end you win an Oculus Go. I did not win that. I came second in that, but it was a good place to like see like that there was interest
Right.
in the game, because anyone that I walked around to, they're like, Beat Saber, I don't have a headset. I have never even heard of that game. But after that tournament, seeing that there were 40 plus people at that tournament, there was an actual interest to play that game. So from there, I set up an Excel spreadsheet. I got interests, seeing if anyone would play on a team if we did have a team. And then like I knew that a season was happening while I was setting everything up. So
Right.
I wanted to see if I could get into the Discord. Got into the Discord. Everyone in the Discord is super nice. They helped me with everything. And then I thought that we weren't going to make it to the next season because we have our month-long break because of DePaul, like the winter break.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought we weren't going to make it because of like how long that break was and how much I wasn't focusing on it during that break, because I was focusing on having a break. And then we come back and Courtney's like, okay, we have a VR headset. We have a space for you to play. We have tripods. We have the cameras. We have computers that you can play on, and you need to get a team and you need to register. And I was like, when did all of this happen? And she goes, I've been spending some time over break doing this. And I was like, okay. So I got the team together, and then I had to do the registration form, and that was very easy. And then pretty much we just like cycled through everything, and then we were doing qualifiers about 4 weeks later.
That's awesome.
So,
It's really cool that you kind of saw this like community and saw that there was demand, and then just kind of created it. I think that's really cool. I think a lot of people kind of would have just called it quits if it wasn't already there. So that's really awesome to hear. What is kind of the structure of your organization? To my understanding, there have been a few changes here and there, but is there like student leadership roles? Are there like a main roster that you play? Or what is the kind of situation you have set up with that?
we're still kind of trying to figure it out, because we haven't even been running for a full year yet. I think a full year will be in like 2 weeks. So we haven't been running for a full year. I've taken the role as student captain, because obviously I made the club. I'm not gonna like make it and then just like let people go with it. I'm gonna stay in. So I've decided that I'm gonna be captain, and then if anyone wants a leadership position, they can ask me, and I'll look it over. Because right now we haven't had any consistent players, because we've only played 1 season. I can't tell if anyone's consistent because we've only had 1 season.
Right.
So like just like having me as student leader during our competitions, I knew what all of our players like play styles were, if they could play faster, if they were better at accuracy, if they were better at the slow songs or the fast songs, better at combos. I could kind of like tell what songs each of them would play and be like, I'm going to save like you for this song, so you play this song, and we'll just like exchange off of that, and we'll see where it takes us.
Kind of allocating like resources accordingly. That's really cool.
It's kind of tough to figure out.
Yeah.
If you don't play the game, it's tough to figure out. If you play the game, it makes a lot more sense.
Right. And that's something I never thought of, that thered be like different play styles. Do you have like a certain role that you think you fit the best out of curiosity?
I think I'm better at the like high speed songs. Whenever I say I train, but it's really I just play the game how I play it. Whenever I train, I play like pretty fast songs at like 175 to 200 tempo, and then I speed it up 20%, and I'll still get like S rank or double S, and I'll just do that for 30 minutes. And I only can do it for 30 minutes because I'm playing at the highest speed that I can play at, and I'll get tired very fast.
Right.
But like if I'm playing a song for competition, I normally play it once and turn on no fail, and I just watch the notes pass me I don't even put my controllers on. I just watch the notes pass me, and I just take in where's all the placement of the notes, so then I can like time it. Because a lot of the times you'll be doing something over here, and you'll be playing over here, and there will be a note that's on this side, and you have to keep that rhythm just like fluid, and you can't really it's hard to do that first try.
Yeah, of course. So that way you kind of get to play it in your head the first time, and there's no jump scares or anything.
And I also, it's very strange, but I also take the songs and I find them on YouTube and then I listen to them over and over during the day, so then I remember how they are. Right. And then if like I can match the song to the notes, the muscle memory will start to trigger, and I can start just doing them without really focusing on where the notes are.
That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. And just so I'm understanding correctly, how does Beat Saber kind of calculate score? Is it about like the accuracy of the notes or the timing, or what is like the main factor there?
So if you've seen the game, they're blocks. Normally, like if you play on the lower levels, they're a block with a circle in the middle. That means you can hit them any way you want. You can hit them on the side, diagonally, top, bottom. When you get to the higher levels, they're blocks with an arrow on them, and the arrow points the way that you have to cut them. So the highest score you can get is a 115, and that means you hit the block dead center and follow through with your cut. You don't stop halfway. If you stop halfway, you get about 80 to 75. If you just hit the top, you'll get like 50. And if you like hit the side, like completely different, they'll call it a miss. You get no points for that.
Okay.
So you have to hit it like full speed, as clean as possible in the middle. It's really hard to hit middle for every single note, but you can kind of gauge once you play for a while, like if a note's passing you, where your arm has to be, and you can get as best as you can.
That makes sense. That must be very difficult, especially as it gets much higher speed. I can barely pass like a song expert, so I can't even imagine much higher than that. Cool. But so how does your organization meet or gather? Do you have like weekly meetings, game nights, or what kind of opportunities are available within the organization?
We haven't really had game nights recently. Again, with the whole like not being consistent with players, it's kind of tough because everyone has college going on. Some people have jobs. It's kind of tough to all collaborate and get into a voice call unless we're competing. We've had a few practice nights, and that's just been like, I'll give everyone a song and we'll play it separately and then come back with scores and just seeing like was there a spot in the song that you had trouble with, or do you want to stream the song to Discord so then we can see where your struggle spot is and we can help you through it. And it's worked pretty well. We had a girl on our team last season who had only been playing for about 2 months, and she said that the best song that she could play was one of the slow basic songs on Expert Plus. And by the end, she was playing custom songs, Expert Plus. And custom songs are a lot harder than the basic songs.
Right.
So she was like, she fully committed to getting better, and she fully committed to what we were saying. And she was playing the songs way better than her original scores.
That makes sense. That's interesting. And I know for Beat Saber, if I'm understanding correctly, there's like a multiplayer plugin. Have you guys ever taken advantage of that by any chance?
It's okay. There's a thing with the multiplayer plugin because it's kind of tough because all of us have different headsets.
Okay.
Because especially from home, you can't really like join a team and then say like you need to get this specific headset. There's a lot of VR headsets to buy. There's right. HTC Vive, Valve Index, Oculus Quest, Oculus Rift, like all of those. So I have a Quest. Another person on our team has a HTC Vive. One has a Valve Index. One has Samsung. One has an Oculus Quest 2. Like, it's very hard to do that, and especially with the new multiplayer mode, I believe only Oculus players can play with Oculus, and everyone else can play with everyone else. So it's kind of hard to kind of put everyone in the same game if the software doesn't let us put everyone in the same game.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. That's something I never would have considered. That's a shame. Hopefully one day maybe they could find a way around that.
Let's hope.
We'll have to see. Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. So I was wondering if maybe you could also go into a little more detail about some of the competitions you've competed in, and maybe even like specifically on a collegiate level, and how that has been.
Yeah, so we play in a league called CVRE, Collegiate VR Esports. It's run out of, I believe, Washington, and the girl who runs it is a graduate from Berkeley, I believe, and she was always super fascinated by virtual reality. She loves the idea of having virtual reality esports and like having this whole community that was never included in esports having a way to finally get in, not at not at as high of a level as some of the other like Rocket League or Overwatch, not at that high of a level, but it's still at a level that it's considered esports.
Right.
So we play in that league, and when we compete, we first have to go through qualifying rounds. In qualifying rounds, the top 16 players who get the best scores out of the 3 songs, they go to Division 1, and everyone else goes to Division 2 in teams. So, like, it's kind of hard to say. So, like, you can have someone else in your school in Division 1, but you won't compete with them. You could actually meet them in a match in Division 1, and you would not be on the same team. That's only for the 16 in Division 1. Everyone else, you team up, you do a round robin style tournament, and then the top 4 teams from the like round robin, so they have 4 groups, go on to the finals. So I don't know where we were placed, and our record last season was 2-3, 2 wins, 3 losses. One of our losses was against the guy who won Division 2, so that one was kind of a tough match. A lot of them were against people who were placing in qualifiers around where I was placing, and we had some people on our team that were 50 levels lower. Oh, wow. Like it was like kind of tough. So like I was in qualifiers, I was ranked 21st, but we had someone on our team who was ranked like 61st. So like there was a big spread of skill there, where I would do pretty okay against this person, where someone else would feel like they're fighting in a different weight class. Like they wouldn't feel like they would even have a chance. Like they shouldn't even play this song with this person.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. And that probably makes it also harder to like find like an adequate opponent if it's such a wide variety of skill. Yeah. Cool. And were those often in person or were they remote? Obviously nowadays they're remote, but
we did them. So we all met in like a voice chat in the CVRE Discord, and then because it was remote and everyone was at their houses, I would stream on Twitch just so then people at DePaul could watch our perspectives. I would stream on Twitch, and then I'd watch every team member's stream of their gameplay, not the other team's gameplay, our gameplay. So then you would see like what we did, and then I would show the scoring sheet. I would show like how everyone was doing. You could hear the other team talk as well, and you could hear our team talk. I had never streamed before that, so the streams might have been kind of simplistic,
right?
But I was happy to do them because I was happy to get the word out about Beat Saber.
Yeah, and that's really the way to go, honestly, and especially if you're trying to like build a good community. Definitely smart. So kind of looking more into the future, what are some highlights that people can look forward to seeing out of the Beat Saber organization or the game Beat Saber itself? Either.
I mean, definite highlights would be like Beat Saber is always coming out with music packs. They just recently, I believe the last one they came out with was a BTS music pack. So they're always collaborating with artists with music packs. The custom songs community is always making more songs. I believe I checked the custom songs recently, and they're up to 30,000 songs made just for the game.
Wow, that's crazy.
And then for us specifically, our season is starting soon, about 3 or 4 weeks. Registration will be done, and then qualifiers will happen at some point. We're still looking for new players. If you're interested, you can go to our Discord, or you can just talk to me once you're at the Discord. I'll tell you everything. I'll get you situated. I'll give you the songs to play for tryouts. We can get you to a place where you can compete. But even if you aren't playing that much, still try out. It doesn't matter. I want to expand the team as much as possible. If you feel like you aren't at the level that I am at, or at the level that some of these people are at, don't worry about it. Just come and play. We're here to have a good time. I honestly don't care about winning. I care about having the community that I have, where I have people I know that have headsets that I can play games with, that understand my nonsense that I talk about with the game. So if you think that you aren't at the level that some of us are at, don't worry about it, because you'll get better. The game is about getting better.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's great to hear. I mean, I think that's like a great approach, especially with the fall esports, is getting like everyone included some way or another, and really just being open. I think it can be an intimidating space when you're looking outside of it. So like really a welcoming community is awesome to see. Cool. So we just have about like a 5 minutes or so left. And right as we wrap things up, I just wanted to leave a reminder for anyone watching. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, be it on Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube, and we will try to address them before we close things up. Cool. So yeah, kind of, again, thinking about the future, hopefully when things are back in person after the pandemic is over, how will things shift? Will there be like big changes for the organization, do you think?
I think there definitely will. Right now I believe we have one HTC Vive Pro collecting dust somewhere in DePaul that we will use for tournaments for anyone who doesn't have a headset, because there could be a whole community of people who play Beat Saber at like their friend's house, but they don't own a headset, so they can't compete. Right. Or like their brother or something has a headset, but they're not allowed to use it that much unless he's in the room. Or in someone who's like my case, who initially didn't have a computer to stream, but I have like the Oculus and I can take videos, but I couldn't have streamed it without my new PC or anything like that. So there's definitely an untapped community.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, I guess kind of thinking about the people that we've reached out to today, how can people who are interested get involved with your community and organization and reach out to you guys?
You can reach out to our Discord. Again, it was on screen earlier.
Yeah, here it is.
There it is. You can reach out to me. I know on the DePaul Esports, there have been a bunch of links with my name and my Discord from the announcements, from just mentions of me. You can find my name. That's pretty much the two ways to get a hold of me. If you go to our Discord server link, or if you just DM me on Discord, we'll tell you everything there is to know. We have a few casual players on our Discord, and we have a few that are team members. The two casuals played last season. They obviously can't play because they did not register for school this year, which is understandable, completely understandable. That's probably the two to get involved. Even if you want to come to the server and just hang out, if you have a headset but don't want to compete competitively, we are all people who have VR headsets, and we're happy to have more people who have headsets, because it's not seen that much in colleges. Yeah. We have an alumni who is in our server who was kind of upset when he couldn't compete again, but he specifically said, "I'm not leaving the server because these are among the only people that I know that have VR headsets. I'm not leaving this group." Because it's true. Yeah. You don't find many people that have headsets. So we just want to expand the community as much as possible. Even if you don't have a headset, when we go back into school, you'll have our headset. You'll have the DePaul headset to train, to practice, whatever you want. And hopefully, cross our fingers, we can get our own space at some point, because that would be much needed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And definitely a lot to look forward to. And I also wanted to say, if anyone's interested in getting involved, and you're already in the DePaul Esports Discord, feel free to leave something in general. And I know me and John are always looking in there. So also another way to get connected if possible. Cool. Well, that's pretty much everything I have. John, thank you so much for joining us. It was really awesome to hear a little bit more about Beat Saber, and it's cool to learn about the game. And I wish you guys the best in your league coming up. Awesome. So make sure, for those watching, make sure to join us next week on February 1st. We will be having Super Smash Bros. My coworker Matt will be interviewing them, and that should be very exciting. And we do have someone who just said this is very helpful. Thanks for your time. Thank you for watching, Vexful. Really appreciate it. So like I said, next week we'll be doing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It should be really cool. And lastly, I just wanted to do a quick note from our sponsor, HyperX. They gave us these awesome microphones, and all sponsorship aside, it's such a great microphone. I can't get over how cool it is. So definitely check them out. I'll play an ad to close us off. But again, John, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Take it easy.
See ya.